There is a quote in the martial arts that says, the person, the martial artist, who has learned how to control their breath has developed the power of 10,000 lions. So I wanted to offer this three-part introduction to breath as a way to help martial artists connect with their breath, because it's often something that we know we should be doing, but there's not necessarily any specific instruction during an Aikido class or a martial arts class on how you're actually supposed to do that. And I have to say, my background in yoga, where you go through a 60-minute yoga class and repeatedly your instructor is cueing you every single move on how to breathe, when to breathe. And I have learned so much from that process, as well as some really interesting breathing techniques from yoga that I think are really, really adaptable for the martial arts and for Aikido. Can you imagine going through an hour-long martial arts class and having the instructor constantly cue you and remind you about how to use the breath and when to use the breath and what kind of breath? I think actually it might be a really useful way to teach, but we don't do it that way. So anyway, what I'm going to offer now is just these three really short and simple lessons to start breaking down the breath in a way that I think can be really useful to martial arts practitioners for you to bring into your practice. So this first video is really going to be about just observing and feeling the breath. And then we are going to look at a couple of different exercises for controlling the breath. And finally, the third lesson is going to be moving the breath. So to begin with, the first thing you want to do is just even be aware of your breath. So your power of observation, to sit up tall, maybe have both your feet on the floor, and just start to notice the breath. What you want to do is close the mouth so you're just breathing through the nose. And you're going to notice that the temperature of your breath coming in, right, is colder than the breath going out. So just starting by noticing the temperature of the breath coming in being cold, the temperature of the breath going out. Something we don't normally notice, right? When we also talk about noticing the breath, you can start by noticing your breath and oftentimes then get distracted and start to think about the rest of your day, your life, your shopping list, whatever. And an image that to me is really useful is to think about a sentinel being basically right on my nose. And it's his job to basically watch every single breath that goes in and out and to not let one pass by without his vigilance in watching that breath. So if that is useful to you as we go through these exercises as a way to really keep your focus on the breath rather than starting to space out on the rest of your day, please use that imagery as well. So let's start to observe the breath by also feeling it. So starting with one hand on the belly and the other hand on the chest, I just want you to start to feel that sense that the breath comes into the belly, and you're going to just expand the breath so that you can feel it start at the belly and then move into the chest. And then as you breathe out, you're going to go down, right? So breathing in, you feel the belly move. It moves up into the chest, and then letting that breath go down the spinal line, right? So just feeling the breath by using your hands in the front of the body. Super useful tool to just start to expand the breath and make it a little bit bigger, feeling that you can actually push out parts of your body with new breath. The other way to feel the breath is the back side of the body. So oftentimes our focus is entirely on the front of the body, but you can keep your hands here or put them to your side. And now as you're breathing, instead of having the focus be on the front of your body, see if you can really feel the breath on your backside. So feel the breath coming up your spine in the back, up to the middle back, up into your shoulders, and then the breath going down your spine on the back. So just being aware that you can feel the breath in different dimensions. The front dimension, the back dimension. Now what I want you to do, the final dimension for feeling and observing the breath, is putting your hands just on your ribs. right? Side of your body. Instead of the breath being just pushing the belly out, think about the breath expanding the ribs. So you want to really feel your breath move the hands out. Nice. So that is just an introduction to basically the dimensionality of your breath, and getting a couple of exercises available to you at any point in your day. When you just need to actually take a moment, you can think about the dimensionality of feeling your breath in the front. You can observe your breath on your backside. And then really using your power of observation to expand the breath out through the ribs. Nice. Go ahead and continue those practices on your own, and we will come back with the idea of controlling the breath with some very specific exercises.